Hey everyone, happy Tutorial Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a great start to the week. And I am excited to be back at you with another mascara tutorial. So whether you're new to my videos or you've been watching for a while, I'm just gonna do a quick recap on mascara, why I love this product so much, and then I will hop right into the tutorial. So I discovered mascara at the beginning of this year because I was looking for a new solution. I traveled a ton and my eyeshadows were constantly breaking. My liquid foundation was always exploding or dripping or leaking all over everything, and I just thought there had to be a better way. So I actually just Googled cream base because I thought that would be like a good way to kind of work it out. And I know that a lot of professional artists use cream base, but there's not really a consumer brand that's cream based. So I ran into mascara on the internet, and then I started following a couple gals that were doing tutorials, and I just kind of fell in love with like the process of doing it. And so in January, I ordered my product and started, using the product, and I just got a lot of compliments, and I started feeling a lot more confident about my look. And so there's a few things that I really love about this, but it does take about 2 weeks for your skin to get used to this makeup. And once it does, it's amazing. I feel like it gives you a more youthful look, and it's a great balance between that matte look and that super shiny look. Like there's a perfect amount of dew. And as you age, I think it's really important that you make sure that you don't do like an incredibly matte look. It just tends to age you a little bit more than necessary. So everything from mascara is in these magnetic refillable compacts. One of the things I love about it is that because everything's in one compact, it makes getting ready super fast and super easy. And you can also just like throw this in your suitcase or throw this in your backpack or purse so that you have it for the day, everything right here. So I love that about it. I also think that just saves you time in general when you're not having to switch between different palettes and different products and things like that. I think it makes it really fast and efficient to get ready. And if you're anything like me, time is a premium. And so you want to make sure that you maximize it the best as possible. So let's hop in. I am going to do a very basic eye look today. So I'm starting with Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and this is on sale right now actually at Walgreens. They have like a big cosmetic sale, and it's buy two, get three free. So I bought a couple things just to refill, but that was one of them. So it's Fit Me Concealer, and I believe this color is Sand. Yep, Sand. So obviously, concealer is not traditionally used as an eyeshadow primer, but I use it as a primer because I saw another girl use it, so I'm not really that creative. But I also really feel like it just is such a good base to even out the skin tone on your eyelids. If you're anything like me, like I have a little bit like more reddish or pigmentation down towards my lash line, and I like to just get it really smooth and all one color before I do, so that really evens it out. And then the other thing I like to do to even it out is just pick my favorite color here, which you can see is Sabrina. So Sabrina is just kind of a light ivory taupe color that has like a tiny bit of metallic in it. So it does have a little bit of shimmer in it. I use this as a base for most of my looks because I think it just blends really well with my skin tone. There are a couple other lighter colors that also work well for this. I think like Cupcake, Unicorn's probably too metallic-y for a base, but some people probably use it as a base. So I just windshield wiper this all over my lid from lash line to eyebrow. And honestly, some days that's all I do because I still, I think that, as much as I love makeup, I don't always do a full face of makeup. So, so that's kind of the base. And as you can see, it's like just really light. It's not anything like super spectacular, and just gives you a nice, good base. And that Maybelline Fit Me Concealer really holds that in place all day. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to use Stardust. I'm not going to do a deep crease today because I think the deep crease is really intimidating to a lot of people. And so I like to just show that like with a really easy, one color, you can just, really make your eye look really pretty and polished. Like you spend a lot of time on your makeup, but it's not as intimidating as having like 4 or 5 colors on your eyelid. Now, my lashes are out of control, but So the color I just put on, I'm using the eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm using the fluffier end. And so this color, if you can see it, just a little bit shimmer. It's like a grayer kind of metallic-y color. It looks like kind of like Galaxy S. It's this one here. It's called Stardust. So I've just put that on kind of in the middle section of my eyelid right here. So right above my crease, all the way from the inside, all the way to the outside. So not a ton of color or pigmentation, which I think is fine. I don't think you need like this full glam look every day. So I'm just going to flip this to the other end of it. This is the smaller end of the eyeshadow everything brush, and I'm going to dip it in this color here, which is Trust. So this is going to be my liner color. Now, when I go a little bit lighter on my lid color, I do tend to line a little bit. So I'm just going to drag this across my top lashes. Nothing too spectacular here, and just kind of create like a smokier look right along that lash line. And then I'm going to repeat this and do the same thing on the lower lash. So it just gives you a little bit more dimension on your eye. And a little bit more of that like artist makeup feel. But you know, most people can take this and drag it along their eyelash line, and it's not that challenging. And it makes a huge difference. So perfect. Okay. So that's really all I'm going to do for my eyes. This makeup, the face makeup, always looks so good that I feel like you can actually get away with doing a lot less on your eyes. I'm just brushing out my gnarly lashes right now. Sometimes I just can't keep it all together. All right. That's a little bit better. So now I'm just going to come in with like just your basic brush. This isn't a mascara brush. This is like an old Laura Mercier brush, and I'm just cleaning up. So the reason why I start with my eyes versus starting with my skin is because I tend to get a lot of loose product, and then it makes me have to do like a lot of rework, especially like with that Trust Colors Dark. And if you get some of that on your cream base before you've done setting, oh man, it's just a nightmare. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to my face. So everything that I use for my face is in this palette right here too. So you saw my eyes were on this one. So I did all of my eyes from this one and using one single brush, and then I'm going to switch over and use this one. Now you can use as few or as many brushes as you like. I have a few favorite brushes that I like. So, you know, I'll just kind of show those as I go. So this is the new Buffy brush, and I really like this for underneath my eyes because I think it gets like the right amount of pigmentation. So I use the smaller end of the Buffy brush, and I'm dipping this here, and my color is White Peach. Now, we call this 3D foundation, and the reason why is because our faces are not all one color. There's a lot of dimension and detail, and so if you put one color on from, you know, your whole face, you're missing a ton of the opportunity to show off that natural dimension that we have within our makeup. So this makeup is designed to be able to show that off. So I'm starting here with a brighter color than my skin tone underneath my eye, and this just really draws the attention to the center of the face and gives you that like kind of bright, awake look underneath your eyes. So this is just, I'm using the smaller end, and I'm just stippling it right under my eye, like so. All right. So then I'm going to switch to the bigger end of the Buffy brush. So I use the smaller one for under my eye, and I'm going to switch to the bigger one. And the color I'm going to use along my chin line and what I would consider kind of like my base color is Candlelit. So 3D foundation means that you get your own color match, that just because like maybe you think we might be similarly color toned, chances are we're not the same color, and we have all color shades of the spectrum, regardless of what your skin tone is. I've been very impressed with Maskcara's coming out with skin tones that will match anyone from any nationality or origin. And I love that. So we can skin or color match you regardless of what your skin tone is. All right, so I've just basically taken this color Candlelit and I've pressed it along my chin line. At this point, you're probably like, hey, why are you not doing this all over your face? And it kind of goes back to that point I said before of like, your face isn't all one color. And so why should your makeup be all one color? There's also different things on your face that you want to like highlight and accentuate versus things that you want to, you know, detract from or minimize. So now I'm going to move into the contour phase. And I think this is where a lot of people get like scared or nervous or feel like, oh, this is, you know, above their skill level. And this is the part I just love to tell people, like, I was scared to try this too when I was started with this line in January, because I was like, oh my God, it looks so dark and scary. Like, I'm never going to be able to do this. But part of the reason why I started doing these tutorials is because I was just like amazed at how you can take, I've done makeup for years. Like, I've done makeup for my friends' weddings and my wedding. I never get my makeup done because I just like how I do it better. But what I liked about Maskcara is I learned a totally new technique to put on makeup, and I just wanted to be able to, you know, share that, because I think people are so afraid to like change their routine or try something new, and, you know, like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it as good as the girl in the tutorial, and like, hey, I'm just your average realtor over here who also happens to like doing makeup tutorials. So this is the contour piece of it. So this is where you are kind of de-emphasizing or placing shadows in order to help emphasize something else that you want to pay attention to. So you'll notice I drew a pretty thick line here on my cheek, and that's to help chisel out these cheekbones here that I don't naturally have, but, you know, I can kind of fake it until I make it, if that makes sense. So now I'm taking this and dragging it along my chin line because, you know, who doesn't want a more defined chin line? Well, I certainly do. And then just blending it towards the outside of your face, I'm just dragging this right along my hairline, and I'm going to come in with what we call a perfector and blend it all in later. So I haven't finished yet. I'm going to switch and do a couple other things while I do this. So one of the other pieces that I think is really intimidating is contouring your nose, and I'm here to tell you, if this is too intimidating for you, then just don't do it. It's not that big of a deal. I think it's hugely important if you're like really insecure about your facial features, but I'm using this, what is this called? The multitasker, I think. Is that what it is? No, it's not. Best Blend Forever. This is the Best Blend Forever brush. So I'm just going to come in and I'm drawing a line right down the side of my nose. So this is that de-emphasized part again. So this is supposed to create the illusion of a thinner, more defined nose. So I'm just kind of using this along the sides here. I also kind of come up here and like elongate that. Okay, so that's the first part. So then I'm going to flip to the other end, and I'm going to take my lighter color, that white peach color, and I'm just going to drag a line down the middle of my nose like so. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to blend this all together here momentarily. Just going to fan this out onto my forehead. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of the contour and put it underneath my lower lip. Give that illusion of a little bit poutier of a bottom lip. Awesome, right? So now I'm taking this, it's Damp Perfector Sponge, which I have wrung out in a towel, so it's a very just lightly moistened. And if you know me, you know that's my least favorite word. So now I'm just bouncing this along my face to help blend in that contour into the other color that we put on our face. So I'm just going to blend half of my face right now, just so I can kind of show you what the look is before, and this is before cheek color, but I think it's really important to see the transition. So, okay, so this side of my face is blended without cheek color. And then this side of my face isn't. So you can kind of see just like how it like so magically blends in with the other color and gives you this natural highlight and low light on your face that gives you some more interesting angles to play with on your natural features. Okay. So again, I'm not doing like a super bold look today. Sometimes I like to do much more interesting looks, but today I'm just doing kind of an everyday look. There we go. And maybe this isn't your everyday look, but I can, you know, help you figure out what that look is for you. Okay, so now again, in the same palette, I'm not switching palettes. I'm right here in the same palette and I'm just picking a cheek color. I kind of go between these three cheek colors. So this one is nude, this one's Hollywood, and this one's black cherry, which looks crazy intimidating, but it's actually super pretty on. And that's the one I'm going to use today because it's really dark in here, but when you get it on and blend it out, it's just really sheer and beautiful. So I've just tapped this. This is the B Squared bronzer brush, and I've tapped the fluffier end in here like this. Because I did it twice, I'm just going to knock it off a little so it's not crazy. So I'm going to smile and come here and dust this on my cheek like so. Does not look so much different on than off. So this is one of my favorite colors. It's also a great lip color. So again, just bouncing it in here and then bouncing it right along my apple of my cheek towards my cheekbone and out. Pretty. Awesome. So, this is a pretty basic look so far. There's some other things that you can do to kind of like finish it up. I use brow gel. This is also part of that Walgreens sale. Buy two, get three free. I'm trying to save y'all $1. So I just come in here and, you know, brush out my brows to make them look a little bit more maintained. If I am doing more of a glam look, I fill in my brows and make them a little bit like more bold and dramatic. Okay. All right, I think we're good. So now I'm just gonna grab this black cherry color. This is the same color that I used on my cheek. So what I love about all of these is like almost everything has a dual purpose with mascara, which I think is just amazing and makes everything like multi-purpose. Let's see. Okay, and then I'm going to pick some nude up and just put this in the middle too. Okay. All right. I use, so a lot of people use the Stay Spray on top and then use the Perfector to blend it out because it is still 112 degrees in Arizona right now. I'm using Ciate London, their makeup setting powder. I think it's so good. The other one I like is the Kula setting spray. So that one's a really good one too. So let's see. So I'm just going to take this powder here, fluff my brush in it, and then just go over the parts of my face that normally get shiny. Again, I'm not going for a matte look, but I'm certainly not going for an oil slick look either. So yeah, so that's it. Some people might want to apply bronzer at this point too. Totally up to, you know, your preference. I think I do as much or as little as I have time for. So I'm going to come in here because I have time. I'm just going to pop on some bronzer, on my neck as well. And then I'm also going to dust on some illuminator just on the ridge of my cheekbones. Down the ridge of my nose. And a little bit on my brow bone. And that's it. That's my mascara makeup look. I hope you guys really like this week's basic tutorial and breaking down some of the elements of the mascara routine. If you guys would like to be color matched and get your custom 3D look, feel free to message me or visit my website. Talk to you soon.